What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Dota 2 commentary brought to you by yours truly, this guy, B-Ballin. How you guys doing today? And this is a match from the Dota 2 Raidcall League. And now, a lot of people have been asking me, okay, B-Ballin, if I had to buy a tournament pass, which one do you think I'd get the most value out of? And I think the Ghost League you'd get the most value of because it's $1 and you get all future access to all Ghost League passes in the future. And of course, you have fantastic casting by Purge, by Shiver, by all the various other Ghost League Gamers casters. And of course, it's $1 and it's forever. So, what more can you say about that? So, if you want to look on the cheap side, that is definitely a very solid option. But I think in terms of just overall having a lot of value, I think this is probably the best league to have a pass for. I mean, the Chinese tournaments are awesome, but they're pretty expensive for not really as many games. But they're still definitely very high quality Dota. If you haven't been checking out the G League cast, check out LD and Winter and all the various other co-casters he's been casting with at Beyond the Summit. But that pass is $9 to $10. Defense 3 is $10 and has a lot more sort of downtime with a lot of lower level teams. But yeah, I mean, what more can you ask for in a league with this pass? You have AC casting, one of the best casters who is up and coming, and you have 12 of the top Western teams with Navi, Empire, No Tide, EG. What more can you ask for? And of course, the best part about this league is that if you buy the pet, some of the proceeds directly go back in towards the team. So hey, I mean, anything that helps benefit the teams definitely will help benefit the scene. But enough jibber jabbering. I'm sure I've bored you long enough. This is a match between DD and Empire. Now DD, pretty unlucky team. They've just been sort of standing in all over the place. Left their sponsor MYM after MYM was pretty shady after making weird accusations about Starladder and Villat. And I think Rise probably said, alright guys, we don't really want to take this anymore. Crit, of course, player for We As Asians, stand in for a multitude of European teams, so hopefully DD can find a sponsor soon enough, but they have been pretty unlucky. Meanwhile, Empire, if there was a team who has looked as hot as Empire has in the Western scene since TI2, it's gotta be Empire. Empire is so aggressive, have really brought back some really unconventional picks like Bane, really like using Clinks, Wisp, very aggressive team, always like using Tri-Lane, and they're definitely a treat to watch. Funnick has definitely made a name for himself as one of the premier solo mid players in the Dota scene, and Scandal, all of these guys, very top tier players, so it's nice to see sort of a diversification of winning teams in Dota 2. That might just be me, especially in the Western scene. You know, it's sort of boring if Navi wins all of the Western tournaments time and time again, but Empire have been looking very, very strong. And this match, I think, was played before the Starlight Grand Finals. It might not have been. I can't honestly say, so I won't give you any spoilers for that, but this match is from the 20th, so it is quite old, and I will be bringing you this best of 3 series. And just going over the picks and bans, looks like Empire decided to ban out the Undying, the Batrider, and this is played on the 20th, and I think this is the first day of post-patch, of post 6.77, because the patch came out the 15th, and I think this is, like, literally the first day the patch was implemented, because the patch came out, I think, on a Saturday or a Sunday, and the patch got updated on a Thursday, and I think this is probably one of the first matches that was played post-patch. But still, you can see Magnus, Wisp, always solid bans, especially Wisp against Empire. Empire love using Wisp. I think Funix said, if we get Wisp, or one of the Empire players, maybe it was Goldbox, saying, if we get Wisp, then, you know, it's pretty much a GG for the other team. Even though they did lose a couple games with Wisp here and there, they definitely have a very strong track record with Wisp. So they pick up the Dark Samuel, and DD responds with Luna and Chen, so going for a very aggressive pushing lineup right off the bat. And the thing about Luna is that she's so versatile. Like, she's a strong early game hero with that plus damage, giving mass amounts of damage to all of her team. But she also pairs very well in the late game. Her glaives definitely do a bunch of damage, cannot be underestimated. The fact that they disperse around everybody, the fact that she has such high base movement speed is just really, really makes it difficult for her to gank. It allows her to chase a lot more effectively. And in conjunction with Chen, who's a monstrous pusher, it's going to be pretty difficult to stop the DD lineup push, but they pick up some pretty strong turtling heroes. Jakiro, definitely one of the heroes who can stop turtling in its tracks. Still one of the best supports in the game. Darkseer, of course, a nightmare to deal with if he gets levels, but teams have been finding ways to shut down with Darkseer recently, but he's still overall consensus one of the best heroes in the game to pick up in the opening phase just because he's so versatile. But the thing about Darkseer is that you sort of give away some of your lanes, but these days Darkseers have been roaming to the mid lane a bit, so you can still pick up Bounty Hunter, but Empire does go with Queen of Pain. So Queen of Pain, expect this Queen of Pain to be very, very aggressive if it's played by Empire. This Queen of Pain will just go ganking all over the place. So Queen of Pain will most likely be in the mid lane. Darkseer will most likely be in the off lane position, so no Bounty Hunter being picked up just yet. Won't be too surprised to see if Bounty Hunter is picked up by DD. But I'd be interested to see, just because I can check to see if the minus armor nerf has been activated in this game. To see if this match was truly post-patch, or if it was not post-patch. But anyway, that's gonna be in the future. So Team Empire already getting the semblance of their lanes together. They need to pick up 2 more heroes for their tri-lane in order for that to be complete. Meanwhile, DD still have very versatile picks. Windrunner can actually play as support, but most likely will be in the offlane position. Gonna give that power shot. Definitely will help get a long range and help clearing out the creeps. Really just one of the best things about power shot is that can just cut off a creep wave before it even gets in range of your creeps, so your creeps will take a little bit of unnecessary damage while they're pushing down the tower. So if you just get that power shot and get a couple glaive hits, then the creep wave will pretty much evaporate, leaving Team Empire pretty much no creep wave under their own tower. I mean, the creep waves will get bursted on pretty quickly regardless by Luna, but the fact that Windrunner's range can just really play a huge role, and the fact that Windrunner very mobile, Shackle Shot will definitely be a game breaker in this game, putting down extreme mobile heroes like Darkseer and Queen of Pain for 3.5 seconds. That cannot be underestimated in any regard. And you can see that this patch has just been introduced recently, because NA is not first picked or first banned. He's actually made it to the second round of bans. If this was a more recent game in the past week, then you could see NA probably make it in the first pick or first ban status, but we're not going to see NA today. Meanwhile, Lifestealer is the ban by DD. Lifestealer has been receiving a lot of attention lately. That magic immunity lasting for 6 seconds, the fact that he has Feast, the fact that he does so much damage and can escape pretty easily with that Infest, again, cannot be underestimated. So DD, they ban out the Enigma, so it looks like they're trying to ban out potential junglers because Jakiro will be supporting somebody in the tri-lane. Don't think they'll ban out the Enchantress. I don't know if Empire really like playing the Enchantress. I think Enchantress farms a little bit too much in the jungle, and Empire just really wants to go constant tri-lane aggression on people's asses. Not to say that Enchantress can't gank, she can gank very, very well, but I don't know if I'm not really too sure if Empire likes playing Enchantress. But Empire decided to ban out the Leshrac. In conjunction with Chen would just be a nightmare defending against, and Windrunner cutting down creeps, Edict just destroying the tower, Chen having the tanky creeps just blowing past everybody. Leshrac is a pretty smart ban by Empire in this situation. Meanwhile, DD, I don't think they'll ban out the Sven right here. Sven, pretty overrated hero, but he's definitely been receiving a lot less attention lately, just because you can sort of kite him around. He still does ridiculous amounts of damage, and he's still very annoying to deal with, but he definitely isn't first pick, first ban status anymore. He's still a useful and viable hero, and I think that's what balance is all about. The fact that most heroes are useful or viable can definitely mean a lot, but like in Animal Farm, some heroes are just more equal than others, like Batrider and Magnus. Coddle is going to be the ban, Keeper of the Light. That anti-push would just be a nightmare to deal with. I'm sure Empire would have loved to get that Keeper of the Light in. Getting that Illuminate to nuke down creeps, and getting the Illuminate to really just harass people at a distance would just be a nightmare for DD to face up against, so they just remove it from the equation altogether. So I think Empire might have been wanting to pick up the Keeper of the Light, so they might be a little bit stumped at the moment, but I'm sure they already have a carry in mind. Who would be a strong carry in this situation? Empire loves using the Clinks. The thing about Clinks is that you can eat a Chen creep very, very quickly and do a lot of damage. You can isolate a target down pretty very quickly. But Chen or Clink's not really the tankiest of heroes, and I don't know if he'll get necessarily too much farm under the pushing power of Chen and Luna. Of course, if he's in a safe lane, he'll be very, very strong, and Empire actually are going to pick up the Enchantress, so all that Enchantress stack that I was babbling on and on about, completely null and void in Empire. I'm sure we're just going to push very, very early. Might get an even early Smoker to see as DD going to pick up the Puck. Puck, I feel like, is a very underrated hero in the Western scene, the Southeast Asian's first pick Puck in Dota 1. And Empire rounded out with the Spectre. Wow. So I think this is definitely post-patch because Spectre, that haunt change, has really made a lot of teams look closer at her, saying, okay, her ultimate, the fact that it lasts even if you're reality in can definitely cause a lot of chaos, and I really like that change. I mean, that was a 6.58 nerf, but the fact that they reintroduced it really fits Spectre's theme of just causing chaos in team fights. But yeah, I definitely think that this is post-patch because I don't think we would have seen Spectre otherwise. Spectre just requires too long, and it's a bit surprising Empire picks up Spectre. They like to go pretty aggressive in Spectre. One of the best late game heroes in the game and really doesn't contribute much in the early game, but I imagine Empire will just try lane her very, very safely, get a couple points into Desolate rather than Dispersion, so he can do even more damage in the early game. And Desolate, the fact that it does plus 60 damage to isolated heroes, and it's pure damage to boot, is just so ridiculous. And DD can round it out with the Crystal main. So now they have their heroes for the turn. It's going to be Luna, CM, and Chen in the jungle. Going to be Windrunner off lane, Puck solo mid. Puck actually fares reasonably well against Queen of Pain. I think Puck is probably the best hero to go up against Queen of Pain mid lane. Can't really outlast it or out-deny the Queen of Pain, but can dodge Shadow Strikes, dodge Scream of Pains relatively easily, and can definitely just make playing against, can just waste a lot of Queen of Pain's mana. And if Queen of Pain blinks in too aggressively, you have the Silence, you have the Phase Shift, you have the Orb to get right out of there. So Puck versus Queen of Pain, I think Puck might win that matchup slightly. And that's pretty difficult to say considering Queen of Pain pretty much has a lockdown on everybody in mid lane, even against heroes like Batrider. But we'll introduce the players and teams in just a second as I bring down the last hit tab. So on Empire side, we have Golak playing the Enchantress. Looks like Scandal is playing the Queen of Pain. Blow Your Brain is playing the Spectre. Hyphen is playing the Jakiro. I can't remember who hyphen is. Funnick is playing the Darkseer. Meanwhile, on the side of Danish Dynamite, it's going to be Linkchu playing the Luna. Calculus playing the Chen, Sakshka playing the Puck, Rise playing the Crystal Main, and Crit playing the Windrunner. So we are going to have a very early on pause, and we'll just take a look at how this game might approach the early game. Funnick not going to have really a decent time against the trillion of Luna, Chen, and Crystal Main. Crystal Main will freeze him in place. Luna can catch up quite easily. So I think Funnick might have to retreat to the jungle very early on, but if he retreats to the jungle, then expect that tower to get pushed very, very quickly. So I'm going to be pretty interested to see what Funnick does. And I think this is one of the first games of the patch. And let me just click Spectre really quick. Yeah, looks like Haunt, all the illusions stay around. Meanwhile, Empire, they don't really have to make their move too early on, but Luna definitely cannot be on her main in the late game. Her damage output is quite tremendous. But I still think Spectre in this game will just outcarry the game, especially with a team with a Crystal Main and a Chen on. And even Puck. Puck doesn't really get too much stronger as the game goes on. He still gets pretty effective. He, she, it, whatever he is, whatever it is. Just a fairy dragon. But yeah, I think Empire pretty much has this in the late game. They have a solid lineup in the early game as well. They have Enchantress pushing down towers. So Empire have a pretty well balanced lineup. Meanwhile, DD really have to make a lot of things happen in the early game. Otherwise, they might just very well be boned, to put it bluntly. And will Spectre go for Fast Relic? Considering she's in a trial, and considering that Haunt having all the illusions up will just do so much damage, I think Relic would be a smart choice in this game. I mean, Diffusal, what will you purge off? You'll purge off the Windrun, you can purge off Luna's high base movement speed, but other than that, I think Relic would just be a more viable option. As you can see, Scandal checking out the Rosh pit. I think the other players are discussing Roshan, so Scandal just better stay on the side of caution and just check the Roshan, make sure it's still there in its rightful place, but it is now agreeable. As it will be for the rest of winter, or probably just until like the middle of January. Meanwhile, Funnick has a Ring of Protection, Stout Shield, a lot of armor, only 1 Clarity, 6 Tangos, not saving up for that fast soaring, and you can see a very, very defensive ward being placed up by Funnick, or a very aggressive Sentry Observer ward being placed by Danish Dynamite, trying to scout out Funnick's position. If he roams in the jungle, Crystal Main can just easily catch him, prevent Funnick from really getting those creep pulls going from this camp, because it has not been warded off. I mean, it's sort of just not really worth it to ward in this spot anymore, because teams just often just get a sentry ward and then you're left out of vision and you can just pull like normal. The only thing that ward really does is just block off a creep camp, so it's much better just to ward off in a sort of unexpected location. But Funny already in a lot of trouble, went into a point in Iron Shell, but hits level 2 very, very quickly from killing those creeps. Can Chen roll around? He's got a stun creep. Beautiful micro by Calculus, and here comes the Frostbite. Looks like Funny is going to be the first one to die. Lucent Beam not even used because he is just level 1, just right clicks, and Funny does take the fall. That Observe Ward allowed Chen to get in perfect position. Beautiful play by Calculus, and wow. Definitely not the start that Empire wanted to get off to. And now Funnick is going to be very hard pressed to stay lane. But the good thing about that is he did hit level 2, so he has this access to his Surge. Usually you don't get level 2 as Darkseer that early on, but the fact that he's level 2 means he can be a bit more brave, but probably not expecting this ward, and it's not like he can afford any sentry wards to be shipped over to him. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, despite what I said, looks like Queen of Pain actually did die. I was going to say Puck was having a pretty difficult time against Queen of Pain, but managed to pick up a kill against Queen of Pain's over-aggressive nature, and that's just the side effect of Scandal's over-aggressive play in general. Scandal, very aggressive player, and sometimes that can cost you. Puck, a very defensive hero in nature, can survive against most matchups, and Queen of Pain definitely underestimated the Puck, but you can see Queen of Pain trying to animation cancel the Shadow Strike, but nice spanning out by Sakshka, and that bit of mana wasted by Scandal is going to come back to haunt him a little bit, and you can see looks like Scandal took a bunch of damage. Level 3 Pucks, so they're equal on levels. Queen of Pain only down in experience a little bit, but you can see Queen of Pain forced to pop Salve, and this is why I think Puck does beat Queen of Pain by a slight amount in the mid lane, even maybe by a bigger amount as he starts living up the silence, which he now has access into. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Windrunner doesn't really have too much to fear. Jakiro, very, very slow hero, has the Ice Path, and Spectre only really has enough mana to cast one Spectral Dagger in the early game before she hits that level 4 mark. So, Windrunner not really in too much danger, but now you can see Windrunner is completely dropped. Looks like Crit trying to cut down some trees, does get frozen, but here comes Golbach. The dagger is going to reveal Crit's positioning all the way. Here comes a Windrun, but you can see Spectre being slowed down all the while, but Crit does not boost speed. Looks like she will take the fall. Crit try to juke out of the way. Looks like the Ice Path does whiff. The power shot's going to come in. Crit, I think it would have been wiser for Crit just to waste a little bit more time. I mean, she would have died anyway, but the fact that you can just waste so much time, it's when you're about to die, you should just try to waste as much time as possible. Something that I learned from AUI's stream. If you want to watch a really an analytical stream, check out Dignitas AUI's stream. It's probably one of the best in terms of analysis. He comments on literally everything he does, every decision he makes, every bad play he does, and it's definitely helped me to learn a lot. But yeah, wasting every bit of time definitely helps to make a difference, but it looks like when our match get back into the lane very quickly. If Spectre picks up a kill right here, she does, and you can see picked up 1 point in Desolate against other tri-lanes, or against a dual lanes. Dispersion would be a smart choice, but the fact that the Spectre is probably going to be a bit more aggressive means that she is going to go for that Desolate build. You know, Link picks up an easy kill on Darkseer. Jakiro's teleport in was just a little bit too slow, and I've already missed a couple kills, so I'm going to stop ranting on about Theorycraft and just start back to observing the game. Try to catch all the kills that you possibly can see. But yeah, Spectre pretty much free farming on that bottom lane, 2-4 in favor of DD. But Windrunner has died twice. Spectre's already level 5. She's pretty much going to have a free lane. In fact, I think she's probably going to avoid getting the Vanguard. Probably just going to go straight for Relic. Maybe get Phase Boots so she can pump out a little more damage and try to escape in sticky situations when they decide to gank her. But you can see Spectre really just having an easy time against this lane in the Windrunner. Against the Windrunner, even though Windrunner is level 3. Windrunner won't die, but now that does leave the supports to jungle to try to gank a bit more. So Empire, even though they have lost mid lane and top lane, bottom lane is not as lost as it otherwise would appear. And it looks like DD picks up an easy kill against Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain just very unaccustomed to facing against Puck in the mid lane, I feel. Just going to use that phase shift to dodge a little bit of that Shadow Strike tick damage, and we'll be able to survive one more tick. Oh, did take the fall from that level 2 Shadow Strike. A lot of Queen of Pains only get 1 level to Shadow Strike, but nice bang out of the Surge by the Crystal Main. Can Funny escape? No, Link Shoe does pick up an easy kill. Nicely done by Rise. Rise is probably one of the best Crystal Main players in the Western scene. I'm surprised Lumi's not a bigger fanboy of Rise, because Rise definitely knows how to play the Crystal Main to a very high extent. And another kill being picked up on the bottom lane. Dagger, Ice Path meant an easy kill. Didn't even have to use Ice Path. I think probably just use Ice Path initiate, but man, 4 to 6 in 5.5 minutes. Usually European games these days are a bit more slower, but you can see when you're playing against Empire, there's going to be kills all over the map. Meanwhile, Spectre suffering a bit. We'll see if she picks up Ring of Health. I think she might be migrating, trying to make her decision where to pick it up. No, just going to pick up a Poor Man's Shield. Not going to try to commit to Vanguard or anything like that. As you can see, the top rune has been scouted. It has been 6 minutes, so it looks like the Observer Ward has worn off on the top lane, allowing Funnick to try to escape to the north, but it looks like Funnick might get cut off. Here comes Rise, gonna pop the Crystal Nova, waiting out the Surge, Frostbite, and it's gonna be an easy kill. Crystal Maiden picks up the last hit for her troubles, so Rise playing an exceptional job allowing Link to have a relatively easy time on that top lane, and Funnick playing super aggressive is a 0 and 4. Funnick, you should just go to the jungle, bro, because you are feeding the top lane immensely. I mean, Luna, 36 CS, but already has the drums and Tranquil Boots. Gonna have the wand up if she chooses to get that. If not, can just have very easy access into that Yasha soon enough. But it might be a ploy, because, again, they just want to turtle it out for Spectre, and the fact that Funnick is just sort of pushing out the lane means that the DD squad can't really push in. But I still think giving up 4 kills to the top lane, definitely not the smartest idea by Funnick. And that's a shame. Funnick, usually a very, very intelligent player, but I think this time the aggressive nature got the better of him, and looks like Queen of Pain in a miserable position right here. Can she wait out the Dream Coil? She does. She is able to blink it at the last second, and looks like the Shadow Strike tick damage might get to the Puck. Puck should be able to survive. I think Puck will survive just by the skin of his teeth. And you can see Calculus and Rise going to roam to the bottom lane, trying to get a push going on. Trying to apply a bit of pressure to the Spectre, maybe even get a smoke gank going. Does Chen have a smoke? Looks like they aren't even going to bother, because they know the Radiant not likely to place the ward. But in fact, Radiant going to actually ward this river position. But it looks like the Dire squad not even going to try to gank, they're just going to try to push the Spectre's lane. And a nice Sentry Ward being placed, allowing Crit to easily de-ward that Observer Ward. So it looks like this game has slowed down a bit. Of course, as soon as I say that, there's going to be like 80 kills around the map, but you can see the power of Puck against Queen of Pain in a solo mid position. You do have to be pretty good with Puck, but if you are very good with Puck, you should be able to win the mid lane position. You can see Puck out-leveling the Queen of Pain, and unfortunately is going to miss the rune. Might be in a bit of trouble because Illusory Orb is on cooldown, dodges the Scream of Pain nicely. Here comes the Shadow Strike, can't dodge that. A little unfazed, but Phase will be up very, very soon. Going to dodge another auto attack, but actually it's just gonna Queen of Pain is gonna think better of it, and you can see Funnick in a lot of trouble. One more hit. Luna is just so fast with those drums, and that Tranquil Boots that she is able to get the kill, but looks like Puck trades his life for Queen of Pain in the middle lane. Dream Coil was used, and I can see this bottom tower getting pressured heavily. Crit is level 6, so does have access to that level 3 power shot. Did not get the point into the Focus Fire, because guess what? He has a Chen, so Chen can output much more damage than Focus Fire would do, and Focus Fire just requires too much mana at this stage in the game. Ice Path whiffs on the Crystal Main, and here comes the Haunted by Spectre. Will Spectre actually go on the offensive for somebody? Spectre, where'd she go? Well, SS is going to be in a lot of trouble, and he's just going to die in a blink of an eye. And here comes Crystal Main. Darkseer is going to do a lot of damage, but it looks like Golbat going to be in a lot of trouble. The Wisp is just healing up so much damage. Sonic Wave going to pick up a kill. Sakshka is going to be on the retreat. Funnick is doing so much damage with Iron Shell. Iron Shell is so ridiculously powerful, even at all stages in the game. I mean, if you just look at the damage per second of Iron Shell. Really nice engagement by Empire as they managed to pick up 2 kills, prevent the push, and save the Spectre as well. Spectre probably thanking her lucky stars that her teammate came to support. And now I imagine with the Ring of Aquila and the Phase Boots, she is going to start picking or going towards that damage item. Usually the traditional Spectre build was Boots, Vanguard, and then either Phase or Treads, and then go for that relic. But you can see it's much more action-heavy game, getting that Phase, Aquila, not really committing to that Vanguard. Going to rely on her natural tankiness and rely on her teammates to get out of trouble to just really survive a lot of these engagements. And I imagine now she is trying to go for that Relic or for the Diffusal Blade Rush. I still think Relic would be a suitable option in this game, as Windrunner does pick up a kill on Darkseer. And you can see Puck just having the game of his life at the moment. Puck playing very, very well if you just look at the overall score. 4-0-1 on the Luna because of Funnick's over-aggressive nature. 3-3 on Puck, but I think two of Puck's deaths came after the Queen of Pain died. So Queen of Pain unfortunately did not benefit from the experience. So Queen of Pain actually being shut down a decent amount. Here comes the Eclipse onto SS. It dies super fast, and you can see Luna already on a mega kill streak. Looks like Blow Your Brain is going to have to get the heck out of there. Going to dagger out of there with relative ease. Won't die, but now is caught in a very awkward position. Nice use of the phase boots and the dagger to outrun the full dagger duration, get back to the high ground. And I can see Puck picked off Queen of Pain once again. I think Scandal is playing this matchup a little bit too wrong, but it looks like Blow Your Brain trying to avenge his fallen comrade. Hand of God is going to fly in, but Puck does take the fall. That extra point into Desolate did help to do immense amount of pure damage. She has 2 points in Desolate, but meanwhile this top tower is going to get pushed by the Aura and by the Chen, who has transitioned. Looks like DD, even though they're having a reasonably solid game at this point, they definitely don't want to face a Farm Spectre in the late game. And looks like Funnick unfortunately cannot defend this tower, not being so heavily harassed that he has been. And looks like Luna with the heavy move speed and with the drum charges being popped, going to able to clean off SFs very, very easily. Queen of Pain going to blink in very aggressively. Looks like Crystal Maiden is going to channel her ultimate for a nice amount of time. Luna does kill the Darkseer, and Crystal Maiden might just kill Scandal. Crystal Maiden, the strongest carry in the game, easily able to clean off the Queen of Pain. And Luna, after killing the Darkseer, just teleported the heck out of there. Really nice play by Rise. And you can see DD, they're making strong plays, but they're just really capitalizing on Empire's over-aggressive nature. Queen of Pain dying too many times, blinking in very, very aggressively. And she's getting kills, sure, but she's losing a lot of experience. And it's not like Queen of Pain gets a lot stronger as the game goes on. She really wants to get an early start. She's definitely one of those snowball heroes who can output a reasonable amount of damage in the late game, but in order to truly maximize her effectiveness, she really wants to get going in the early game. As the power shot immediately disables that regen poor Enchantress, gets an easy kill with the help of the Dream Coil. And Spectre, I think Empire are going to have to rely a lot on Spectre. They might have to play a bit more conservatively, and this is definitely a play style that Empire does not want to have to play. They want to be super aggressive, always in your face, but right now their levels are really just speaking against them. Jakiro level 5, Chen and Windrunner level 8 and 6 respectively, but you can see this Chen has been roaming very, very heavily at this stage. And Windrunner was in offlane position, but Empire tried to defend this tier 1. Unfortunately, Windrunner picks up an easy last hit. And you can see Luna and Puck just so high leveled in comparison to the rest of the DDs, or in the rest of the Empire squad, and really Funnick level 8 is 1-7. This is very, very un-Funnick-esque, and I expect him to step it up in the rest of the series, but he paid the price of his over-aggressive nature, and he died 7 times. And fed 7 kills to the Luna, who is going to have a Romantic style up in about 150 gold. And you can see Darkseer trying to surge, gets a vacuum going. Ice Path is going to fly in, but here comes Eclipse. And there goes the increased damage, but it looks like Link is going to take the fall. Funnick trading his life for a monster kill streak on the Enchantress. Worth it. And that is going to delay Luna's Manta Style by a bit. Luna, unfortunately, did not have the shop hotkey, so was not able to pick up the Manta Style. Enchantress actually went for Hannah Midas. Pretty risky maneuver. I don't think this Enchantress was jungling too heavily, but I don't think this Midas is really for the goal. It's just to get a bit of experience, because otherwise she'd be very underleveled in comparison to the rest of the cast, and they really want to have a high level of impetus and a high level of healing wards to go in. Looks like Rise is going to get Shadow Strike. Here comes the haunt in by Spectre. Sonic Wave going to hit Rise for a bunch of damage. Rise is going to take the fall, channeling the ultimate. Looks like Crit is going to die as well. Here comes Sakshika, but Sakshika might pay for it with his life. Actually, Puck juked to the Illusory Orb, but Funnick is there to help pick up the kill. Nice recovery by Empire, isolating DD in a very awkward position. And I think it was more just because the DD, they felt confident with these wards, but still, Empire ridiculously mobile. I mean, they saw the Enchantress bait, they're like, alright guys, let's go get him. But still, you cannot underestimate the power of Spectre Global Haunt teleporting in. Darkseer, because he was so leveled, actually respawned relatively quickly, and looks like Link should be okay. Gonna have the Manta Style up very, very soon, and a 16-minute Manta Style. Extraordinary GPM. Extraordinary GPM of an astounding 540. So I might have over-exaggerated exaggerated right there, as I can't speak. But we can take an early look at the gold and experience graph. Gold graph, it's to be expected. Looks like it's a solid 3k lead for Empire, and that's because they have 3 towers. So other than that, Empire is doing a pretty solid job. DD, even though they do have the tower advantage, as Calculus does pick off the Enchantress on some lane, but Funnick is going to escape for now. Looks like they picked off the Enchantress in the jungle, so Empire is going to be -1 for a little bit. Meanwhile, Kunipin trying to desperately pick up some farm, but Chen is going to wrap around from the rear. Does Scandal suspect a thing? Here comes the Frostbite, but the blink was perfectly baited out, but actually, nice positioning by Scandal. Going to dodge a Shackle Shot, and I do not think they can kill Scandal. Looks like the Frost Nova is going to come back in. The Crystal Nova Power Shot is going to reveal Scandal, but Rise just too slow, even with the Tranquil Boots, to catch up to that Queen of Pain's blink position to get the Frostbite to cancel that TP. But still wasting Queen of Pain's time. But you can see Spectre, despite... Actually, Spectre is 2-0-6, been a lot of kills, so Spectre, even in this aggressive game, still managed to pick up a lot of farm, very close to a Relic, and that's just on the back of a lot of Sys Gold, and having solid farm, 91 CS at this stage in the game, with so much action going on, definitely something to be respected by Blurry Brain, as Enchantress is going to get caught in the worst position, and she's going to die super easily. Crit gets an easy kill. Here comes the Haunt. Can they make anything happen? Don't think they can, because there's a mass grouping of DD players, so Empire can't really transition to that, but Spectre just saying, okay, I know you guys are there. But DD, now that they know Haunt is on cooldown, now that they know, okay, we have the map control, they're going to take a very easy Roshan, and there's really nothing Empire can do to contest this. As you can see, the Greevil enjoying that winter wonderland. But Relic is going to be picked up by the Spectre. Sold the Quelling Blade, but still a little bit short from that Relic. If she were to die here, that would be a huge shame, but I don't think she will. The Crow pretty close to the secret shop. But here comes the push by DD, and this is probably the worst timing that Empire wanted. They got the Relic, but they don't have the Radiance. And Haunt is on cooldown. They do have Sonic Wave, but Darkseer is so low leveled, has no points into the Wall of Replica, so I don't know how they can stop this push. I don't think they can stop this push, but they're going to try. They do have Lily on Jakiro, who managed to pick up 3 levels relatively quickly after getting that kill on Luna. But it looks like Enchantress is going to bait out the Dream Call. That might be Empire's plan to go in after the Dream Call is used, and looks like it is. Here comes the Vacuum to Ice Path. Sonic Wave going to clear up a bunch of kills. Beautiful coordination by Empire, but Luna just so tanky, able to do so much damage, and it looks like Queen of Pain going to duke out with Luna, but Luna does have the Aegis. Pretty much a team wipe by DD, as I'm not too sure who bought back. I think Puck bought back and teleported to the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Luna's going to try to get the heck out of there, and she is going to do so successfully. The Ice Path just ticked in a little bit too late, so pretty much a team wipe because they did kill the Aegis, even if they didn't kill the Luna twice. So beautiful engagement, and you can see the power. Just drop the Ice Path anywhere you want, and then you can just vacuum in there because the Ice Path persists. It's not like the initial stun anymore. You just persist there, and then you can get an easy team fight combination. Macro Power, Sonic Wave, Ion Shell. What more can you ask for in life? And Empire, they're going to find out very soon because they're about to have a Radiant Spectre. So despite DD playing very, very well, them being out of position a couple of times, once on this top lane and once on this mid lane. I don't think they were necessarily out of position. They just got baited in by the Enchantress, and they fell for the bait beautifully. So nice mind games by Empire in that scenario. And Darkseer is finally hit level 11, so he's going to have that wall up. And keep in mind, wall will just do a bunch of damage to Luna. Those glaives will just be bouncing all over the place, hitting Chen Creeps, hitting Windrunner, hitting Crystal Mains. So Empire in a pretty solid position. Blurry Rain is going to have the Radiance up, so that means Haunt is going to do even more damage. Keep in mind, they were fighting without the Haunt, I think, for the most part in that last engagement. So we'll see how DD decides to approach this. They do have Helm the Dominator up on Luna, so she has a bit more staying power with the lifesteal, but still, she's not really too tanky. Bit surprised to see Helm the Dominator rather than just a straight BKB rush, but looks like Scandal giving him a bit of trouble. Test Faith going to fly back in as Blurry Rain trying to do a bit of Radiance harassment. Just revealing the fact that says, hey, I have Radiance, what are you going to do about it? I think that DD knew that she had Radiance, but still, now that DD knows she has Radiance, they are going to have to tread a bit more carefully because double teleports are going to come in. Will Spectre initiate with the Haunt, trying to wrap around? Here comes the Haunt in. Are they going to catch the Crystal Main? They will probably catch the Crystal Main. Can they kill her? That's a question. Impetus going to fly, and I think if Spectre actually teleported into the Crystal Main, she would have gotten the kill, but she is actually going on the 3 heroes, and you can see Dispersion able to disperse so much damage, but one Spectre cannot do it by herself. The Shockwave and the Illusory Orb doing a bunch of damage. Queen of Pain manages to pick off Luna in the background, nicely done by Scandal, and looks like Spectre has done her job. She's trying to get the heck out of there. Unfortunately, Spectre won't be able to get many more kills. Looks like Sashka, unfortunately, misses the orb, is completely out of mana right now, and Blow Your Brain is going to do a nice job baiting into the puck. Nice mind games by Empire, as their communication is top-notch. Even after having some early game struggles, they're just really out mind-gaming DD in this stage of the game. And DD playing pretty sloppy at this stage. And overall, Empire is probably the stronger team, but definitely that's not to say that DD is a weak team. As we saw in the early game, DD can definitely play very, very impressively, and they're still very much in this game. But Spectre, I mean, she has no taking items, but she's still able to survive so much damage. And she's only going to get more and more tanky as this game goes on. But it looks like DD is going to be on the pursuit. Can they catch the Queen of Pain? No. Scandal should be able to teleport out of there in the nick of time. Was trying to thank his lucky stars as got out of there. And now looks like Calculus is going to enchant another creep. DD desperately want to get a push going. They know they are on a clock, especially with Luna dying a couple times. Dying 2 times. Not the biggest deal, but against the Spectre, every death does count. Every moment where you're not firing while Spectre is firing when you're the other team's carry is a lost moment. Especially when you have Crystal Maiden and a Chen on your side. And you can see, Empire have picked up 1 tower, but they're still remaining very close in the goal graph. Even with the DD picking up 3 towers and the Roshan, experience graph are actually in favor of Empire at this stage in the game. Sashka does have the Blink Dagger, but Rain's going to disable a lot of damage. Here comes the Haunted. I think they're trying to disable the puck, trying to go after the puck. Looks like they might find themselves a nice bit of calculus. No, they're actually going to go after Link. Funnick with the Surge, trying to surge in for the Spectre. Eclipse was dropped, so that's 150, 140 seconds without Eclipse, and didn't even get a kill, and more importantly, they killed the Luna. Nicely done by Empire. And looks like there's going to be another engagement in the mid lane. Dreamcoil being dropped. Rise trying to do as much damage with that ultimate as she possibly could, but Dreamcoil could not get the kills going. They really wanted the Luna to get all of that damage in. Looks like Scandal's going to have to get the heck out of there very, very soon. Scream Pain going to fly in. Scandal almost out of mana. Enchantress is going to take the fall. Go Black being hit by that tower. Mechanism is going to be used. Here comes the vacuum and the wall. Scandal going back in with next to 0 mana, as everybody on Empire has next to no mana, but they're still staying in. They honestly don't give a fuck. But no, I guess they learned that they probably should give something, and they are going to back off. They have Soul Rings, they have Arcane Boots, but still. And Empire, after that miserable early game, must be feeling pretty good about themselves right now. Spectre has now out-net-worthed the Luna, who had a 7-0-2 start. Luna's still 9-3-3, but Spectre 3-0-8. The fact that Luna's died twice has not made any item progression since the Helm of Down Air was picked up about 5 minutes ago. Definitely going to be a bit troubling for DD, and DD, it's only 25 minutes in the game, and this really speaks to how much action is going on in this game so far. So they still have a shot, but it's looking more and more unlikely. Queen of Pain's finished the BKB, so she decided, alright, I just need survivability so I can dive even more aggressively than I already was doing, as Scandal just dives without any regard for human safety. But looks like DD, they don't want to wait around for the next Roshan. They want to get things done. They know that their heroes don't scale nearly as well. I think it might have been better to wait for the level 2 Hand of God, but it's only 100 points in extra healing. I guess it wouldn't have made that much difference. They really want to get going before Spectre picks up another damage item, before she picks up something like a Vid Booster into a heart. But Funnick is going to wrap around from the side. Observer Ward doesn't scout out Funnick, I don't think, otherwise they would go on him. Looks like the tower is going to take the fall. Crit picks off an easy kill. Trying to go for the Enchantress bait once again. Here comes the vacuum into the wall, replica into the Ice Path. Radiance damage, doing a bunch of damage. Where is Queen of Pain? They want that Sonic Wave. They want it so badly. Here comes the Scream of Pain, and looks like Empire just cleaning up DD at this point. Sonic being popped on Luna just with the kill, adding insult to injury, and DD are in complete disarray. They fell for the bait once again, allowing them to clump, allowing Darkseer to pick up an easy vacuum. And that Spectre damage with the Haunt means essentially a team wipe. Only Sakshika remains. Sakshika should escape. Actually, Blink Dagger is on cooldown, but is going to lose her orb. Going to blink back out and has the Blink Dagger as Scandal is going to be thwarted in that endeavor. But still, Empire is starting to make short work of DD in these team fights and is not allowing DD to stand in place. I think Luna might start to regret her decision to get home Dominator rather than that BKB. And I don't even know if she's been stacking the Ancients. I don't think she has been. Now we're Spectre starting to eclipse Luna. No pun intended. Has a full 2k gold lead. You can see after the miserable start that Scandal has, you can see the net worths on the side of Dire just so very low. Keep in mind a lot of the net worth is on the gold stash in the courier, but still. I mean, Rise has a VIP booster allowing her to survive, but honestly, Crystal Main, she does benefit from survivability, but if the rest of her team gets wiped, what can a Crystal Main do? Honestly, not too much. Unless she goes for the trademarked Deso Crystal Main build, Battle Crystal Main, the best Crystal Main. Think Funnick trying to disrupt Sakshika a bit. This might be a bait. This looks like it will be a bait. Actually, Calcus does not want to risk it, and the Dire are going to retreat. They do have to keep in mind at any moment Spectre will just haunt in. Haunt is back up, and Spectre's faced a match style, so now she can cause even more chaos in team fights. And she is level 18, level 3 Haunt, level 4 Dispersion, level 4 Desolate. That's going to mean easy pickings for Rise. Rise is just going to teleport out of there. And the fact that she is next to Crease means she doesn't take extra bonus from Desolate. But still, 135 gold down the drain for Rise. And let's check out the items on the Dire. Force Staff is finished up on the Windrunner. Chen has the drums as well as a mecha, so they went for double drums on the Luna and the Chen. I think Luna probably used all of her drum charges. Here comes the Dream Coil trying to catch Funnick. They are going to use Eclipse for that. I think that was probably worth it because Eclipse not able to do too much in these other engagements. Luna just dies so very fast without that BKB, so using the Eclipse to clean up Darkseer for the next 50 seconds, probably worth it. As Luna decides to help out her faithful friend in the past in the part of Crystal Main. And also very important is that Darkseer, the king of Roshan teamfights with Magnus, is not going to be up, so we'll see if DD decides to strike and try to get the Roshan in the next 20 seconds. Meanwhile, Scandal going to go for that Hex. Jakiro has a couple of bracers. He is ridiculously tanky, my god. If they can get multiple Ice Bats in a team fight, it's pretty much a guaranteed victory without Luna having a BKB. So Jakiro going for the mass tank build. Very, very smart decision by SS. Enchantress trying to go for the Aghanims, but Enchantress really probably the least important hero. That's why she's constantly the focus of these baits. But because she is literally the least important hero on the side of Empire. Meanwhile, Luna getting very close to that BKB. Looks like this is a bait of a Roshan attempt. They're letting the Centaur die and trying to see if a Haunt is going to come in, but no wards up by Empire. We'll see if they use a Scouting Haunt. Queen of Pain out of mana, so I don't think Empire will fight this. That is going to mean a free Roshan and a free Aegis for the Luna once again. Pretty key. I don't know how big of a difference it'll make because the Vacuum Ice Path combination has just been so deadly that if Luna does respond, the rest of her team will already be dead in the span of those 3 to 4 seconds. But still, better than nothing. It's definitely what DD needs to do in that situation. And a BKB has been finished by Link. This is their time. They can't really wait around too much longer. Spectre is only going to get more and more powerful. Crystal Maiden and Chen are only going to get less and less effective as this game goes on. I mean, pretty much everybody on the side of Empire scales. Enchantress scales. Jakiro with the Ice Path is always going to remain relevant with the Liquid Fire pushing down towers. Kunipane only going to get stronger and stronger after that miserable start. Darkseer going to start adding Wall to his arsenal. Is going to go for the Aghanim Scepter after finishing the Mecha. Not sure how I feel about that. I think Shiva's might have been a better choice, but hey. Because honestly, the side of D just dies so fast that I don't think too many illusions would have been made regardless. But DD, knowing that they are on a clock, gonna have the BKB shipped to them, not revealing the fact that they do have BKB just yet, and I don't think Empire saw it. Empire have not seen the BKB, but now they do. Now they say, alright, Luna has a BKB. And how they respond to that looks like they're trying to pick off 2 towers for the price of 1. Queen of Pain will get the top tower, most assuredly. Actually, is going to back off in the nick of time, and they are going to fight. This Eclipse is going to be popped, trying to focus down Funnick. Funnick is just running back and forth. This is not the fight that Empire wanted. They had such carefully coordinated team fights, but they did wait out the BKB duration charge. Spectre gonna go in, still at relatively full HP. Shackle Shot gonna latch 2 people in place. Luna's trying to go to work. Here comes the vacuum and Ion Shell. Will Wall be dropped? Wall is not gonna be dropped, but the Aegis expires nonetheless, and 4 heroes still left on the side of Empire. Spectre able to survive with the sliver HP. Link is trying to do as much as he can, but might just get kited around. Here comes Windrunner and Link trying to do whatever they can, but Enchantress doing so much damage in the background, and looks like Luna does take the fall. Crit trying to do whatever she can. Crit, can he pick up a kill? And Spectre, keep in mind, Spectre did survive that team fight and might just teleport in to try to save the Enchantress. No, just going to leave Golblack to die. Actually, that Untouchable doing so much work. That 110 reduction in terms of attack speed just doing way too much. And Diffusal Charge was used, and it is going to pick off the kill on Windrunner. And I think DD are starting to run out of gas. Luna unable to survive any of these team fights. Her Aegis expired so very quickly. And it's looking grim for our Danish buddies. Check out the goal graph. Pretty much even, but expect to see it jump heavily in Empire's favor soon enough. Experience graph hugely in Empire's favor at this stage. Check out the net worth. Check out the gold per minute. Gold per minute really doesn't mean anything in this game. What does mean a lot is the hero level. As you can see, DD starting to slowly slip away. And keep in mind, Spectre has yet to pick up any tanky items, only has a med style, but still able to survive all of these engagements is 5, 0, and 15. And she's only going to get more and more tanky. And I honestly don't know how DD can focus her down. But Spectre is without buyback, so if DD can pick her off very, very quickly, they might still have a shot, but I think Spectre is going to farm buyback relatively soon. Is going to actually have buyback after losing this gold. You know, Sakshika, Puck, very strong hero, but unfortunately doesn't really get stronger as the game goes on. Dreamcoat always remains relevant, but without too many damage on her side besides Luna. It's not looking good for the side of Danish Dynamite. You know, Crystalmain doing whatever she can. I think overall DD played pretty well, but unfortunately a couple of nice Empire positioning meant the end of DD in a couple teamfights. They did use a BKB charge up on the Queen of Pain, so that's an 8-second BKB charge down the drain. But Queen of Pain able to survive very, very easily. Funnick gonna have the Aghanims up in about 200 gold. Might be time for DD to turtle out and try to get as many hexes as they can get, but still, Windrunner very far away, Puck very far away. But if I were DD, I'd just turtle and try to pick up as many hexes as I could. Hex down the Spectre. Hex down the Queen of Pain after BKB is over. But honestly, Funnick, after dying 7 times at top lane, after being 4 and 12, these vacuums with the Ice Path combination have just been destroying DD. But still, DD do have a shot. But I do think they need to farm up until they get a couple hexes. And unfortunately, while they do that, Spectre is going to pick up a lot of tanky items. I imagine she's trying to save up for that Reaver. Going to probably pick up, I guess, maybe the VIP Booster or the Reaver right now. I'd probably pick up the VIP Booster so I could still have buyback if I really needed it, if I got, like, disabled down, but The fact that there aren't any hexes on the side of DD just yet means that Blue Brain, now under too much pressure on Link, not fast enough to catch up to that Spectre. And Blue Brain just saving up the gold. I imagine he's going to go for Heart now. And the dagger was being used. I think mostly his scout positioning dagger does give vision, albeit a very small amount. Looks like Rai's going to be in a bit of trouble. Meant to split the Frostbite, nicely done by Blurbrain, but he is going to run into 5 heroes, but here comes the Sonic Wave. Eclipse is going to be used as well. Blurbrain taking a bunch of damage. Blurbrain does take the fall, but he buys back, does have the haunt, is going to haunt back in, and here comes the wall. Wall with the Aghanim Scepter rises, forced to split off from the rest of his team, and so is Puck. Blurbrain doing so much damage with that buyback. Enchantress picks off a Luna, Spectre kills a Chen, Spectre kills a Windrunner, Spectre kills your entire team. Sashka is going to take the fall as well, and DD have run out of gas. Luna does have buyback, but honestly, what can Luna do? She can buyback and teleport to farm, because Luna unfortunately doesn't have too much range, doesn't have any long range creep clearing abilities, and honestly can't really do too much if she were to buy back by herself. I mean, Luna and CM obviously can take down the entire Empire squad, right? Hey, crazier things have happened in the world of Dota. Empire actually going to pick up a Vlad's as well as a Diffusal Blade level 2. So going to amplify that pushing power, saying, alright, we bought back, don't have enough money for the Reaver. We're pretty much steamrolling these team fights where Spectre's not caught out of position. Let's just try to get some more pushing power on our side, try to end this game ASAP. Mechanism is going to be popped. Crystal Nova trying to slow down the onslaught, but Liquid Fire going to reduce that tower's DPS by oh so much. And DD going to get Vacuum. Rise is going to get sent back home by the Chen, but that means Rax is going to be given up by Danish Dynamite. Really can't contest that. Spectre Haunt will be up in 25 seconds. They're just going to back off. They have the gem even up on the dark sphere to help D-Ward, help keep DD in the dark. It's looking pretty grim for our Danish heroes in this game. And considering how far away, actually Windrunner, only about 1k gold away from that Hex. Puck, pretty far away from his own Hex actually. They need to get this Aegis. More for the Aegis, more for the gold, and to deny Spectre the Aegis. And they just need to farm the Hexes. That's honestly the only way I can see DD having a chance to come back. But other than that, I think DD, unfortunately, they went all in on the early game. And unfortunately, they got to a pretty strong start, but a couple team fights do make a huge difference in this game, especially when they're team wipes. Here comes Blurbrain with that Spectre, as Puck is going to blink and teleport out to relative safety. Hex is finished up on the Queen of Pain. Aghanims and a plate mail being picked up by the Darks are going to go for that Shivas. Alpha Wolf is picked up by the Luna, increasing her DPS by a relatively sizable amount by 30%. But here comes Funnick. Ice Path it does with, but Ice Path pretty short cooldown, and the fact that SS has haste rune means that it's going to be easier to position himself even better. Not sure why Scandal didn't use a Hex, but I guess just saying, okay, crit, you can live one more day, one more minute. As looks like Empire trying to seal the deal, trying to get that Roshan map control, and trying to end this game. Spectre picks up a Talisman Invasion as well. Gonna give her even more taking power. Usually you don't see evasion off on Spectre because Dispersion represents so much output, but here comes a Vacuum, and they are not even going to try to get kills. They're just doing so much damage and driving DD back. Rise caught in a terrible position, caught between a Spectre and a hard place. Never a position you want to be caught in. Luna with ridiculous Eclipse damage doing work, but Spectre just doing too much. Here comes the Wall of Replica, and I think DD are going to call the GG. Buyback by the Puck, but Luna doesn't have buyback, I don't think. Actually, it's going to have buyback in about 15 gold. That might be what they're waiting on to try to get themselves back into this game. Spectre very low in terms of HP, but can actually just buyback, get Boots of Travel, and just get back into the fight, but that is going to mean another Rex for DD. And Luna, unfortunately, does have the buyback gold, I imagine, right now, but will not be able to use it before they get the Rex down. Jakiro does take the fall, nicely done by Puck, but here comes Funnick. Jakiro buys back. 2 Rexes down. Enchantress buys back as well. Never give up, never surrender, apparently. And I respect that. But you can see the gold graph starting to spiral out of control. Net worth, Spectre, 6k lead on Luna. And you can see the next 3 heroes on the side of Empire have an immense gold lead at the moment. Funnick is going to get shackled in place, but Windrunner fortunately does not have the DPS to stay and get the hexes in. Looks like Empire just going to go for the victory push. And actually, Empire pushing in without max HP. This could be a mistake. I don't think it'll be enough if DD wins this team fight to get back in this game. Luna is still dead, by the way. Here comes Spectre with gonna get shackled. Nice shackle by Crit as test of faith on that creep, I think. Here comes Puck with the Blink Dagger. Loser Orb gonna drive him back. But really, Empire not in too much trouble. SS is going to be in a bit of trouble. Penitence, as well as Shackle Shot, going to slow down. Here comes the Wall Replica, and the Sonic Wave. Link going to pop the BK, doing a bunch of damage. Funnick trying to kill Link. Link is going to take the fall. And there goes the last stand. Actually, Link is going to buy back after picking up the kill, but Sashka is going to take the fall as well. And that's going to mean Mega Creeps, and that is going to mean the end of this game. DD put up a valiant effort, put up a really strong early game team fight, but unfortunately could not seal the deal. And that just demonstrates the power of team fights in this game. If you lose a couple of team fights so decisively, you do just lose all of your momentum and will possibly just lose the game. But still, DD definitely showing that they can compete with Empire for most of the game, 44-34. And the fact that Empire had a much stronger late game really speaks to how well DD played overall, aside from a couple mistakes here and there. So hopefully you enjoyed this matchup. And I'll be back with Game 2 very, very soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.